Naked's what I call my way of cooking. What I cook in the restaurant isn't what I cook at home. Cooking's got to be a laugh. It's got to be simple, it's got to be tasty, it's got to be fun. I suppose you could say it's stripping down the recipe to its bare essentials. No way, it's not meat, it's the food. Right, I've got to have something to eat before I do anything else. I'm going to have a bacon sarnie for brekkie. So what I've done is I've got one of these grill pans, and they're quite cheap. I use it all the time now, just for, like, meat, fish. So easy. Anyway, look, I've got this bread, yeah? And I get them to slice it on the machine, but do you know you go in there and you get a normal bread loaf and you get it cut across into the normal rounds? Well, I do it the other way, and I say, can you put it through the long way? So what you get is there. Look at that, you fat.
Have you got a big day today, then?
I've got a huge day. I used to be in a band when I was from 14 to 17, then I moved to London to sort of work in the kitchens and stuff. And we never really spoke, well, we spoke on the phone every now and again, that was it. But about 6 months ago, they all moved to London, so we kind of got it back together again. We've got the first gig tonight, mate.
What instrument do you play?
I'm a cliché drummer. A little bit hyperactive, talk rubbish most of the time, bit fidgety. What can I say? Right, I'm just going to push this bacon to one side now, because that's cooked and it looks lovely. And I'm going to get this bread and I'm going to toast it on here. Instead of toasting it normally, I'm going to toast it on this grill pan. And that's going to suck up a little bit of all the sort of fat and the juices that comes up from the bacon.
Do you always use white bread?
No, I don't, well, yeah. I don't like brown bread. My mum always tried to get me on it, but I don't like it at all.
Are the band coming back to eat this evening?
Yeah, I'm going to cook a Thai green curry, which is pretty appropriate, really, because we're going to get a little bit bevved up tonight. You know, we're going to be very excited after the gig, and curries are kind of like the English boys, or Essex boys, sort of ultimate after pub food. Right, this is about done now. Right, I'm just going to eat this, and then I've got to go shopping and get stuck in, because I've got a lot to do. Hi, Esther.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad.
Look at that motor. Oh. So what I'm going to make is a Thai green curry, yeah? And for that, we have to make a green paste. It's very quick to make, very quick to cook. Well, there's a little bit of preparation at this point. So what we're going to do is we've got spring onions here. 1, 2, 3. I use about 5 or 6.
Could you use normal onions?
Yeah, use normal onions, shallots. And then lemongrass. Basically, what we want is the inside, where it's slightly white, slightly softer, loads of flavour, really zesty. So I'm just going to trim off the bottom, and then just trim off the end until the tender kind of end of the root, which is normally about halfway down. And you just want to strip the outside leaves off, because they're quite tough. It's a really delicate flavour. And even if you just put it in with steamed rice and stuff like that, the fragrance of it just really kicks all the way through. It's lovely. Spread it in half and just cut it into about 4 bits. All of these together make a really good taste, yeah? But if there's an ingredient that you particularly like I'm getting quite partial to the old lime leaves, just up them a bit. But this is a good one that I like. And then I need some garlic. 2 or 3, just peel them, we can leave them whole. Oops. Oh no. Thanks. And then we've got the ginger, yeah? The thing to look out for when you get the ginger is you want a nice big fat old hand of ginger, because sometimes you have to root around these poxy little bits and they're just stringy and dried up and horrible. You want a nice thick bit and just rip it off. You can peel it with a peeler or use a knife. Right, so we want about that much, you know, about a tablespoon's worth. And that's another thing done. Right, we've got limes, yeah? Lovely, lovely limes. Just peel off a little bit of the skin, because the skin's quite fragrant and there's no point in chucking it away. I've got these really pucker chilies. I'm going to use about 4 or 5. Again, up it or lower it as to what you like. I'm just going to take the ends off and I'm going to cut them in half.
Do you think there's quite a macho element as to how hot you like your food?
Yeah, well, I suppose when you go out with the boys and you get a bit bev-wild, it does well, it's been known to turn into a bit of a competition, you know, who can have the hottest curry, but I just love chilies, though, so much. The really, really hot curries, they use the whole chilli, which are these seeds, but it's hot, but it doesn't really taste of chilli. If you take the seeds out, you get a nice warmth there, but the actual taste of chilli comes through. Right, so next we're going to use lime leaves, and they're kind of unusual. You get them in every single Thai or Chinese supermarket, and you're starting to get them in the supermarkets now. But these make such a difference. They've got a really authentic flavour, and I just want a little handful, about that much. And you can buy them in bags like this, and you can freeze them, and they keep so well in the freezer. Take any big bits of stalk that are off, and you just roll them up like a little cigar, and just chop them across, just to help the machine a bit. Right, so I've got this coriander here, and you know, you want about sort of 3 or 4 really good handfuls of this, so that bunch is perfect. And basil, just rip the stalks off, leave some of them on, and we want about, you know, 2 really good handfuls of basil. So we've got lots of fragrance there, you know. Coriander seeds, about a little handful, or, you know, tablespoon and a half, and just crack them in half. You don't want to smash them up to a powder. Lovely. Right, so this is the easy bit. Just take it over to the mixer. Get me olive oil. I'm just going to put my ginger and the rougher things, the sort of tougher things. So I'll get the garlic in there, the ginger, the spring onions. The things that are going to give the machine a little bit more work. So just pulse it up basically to as fine as you can. Add a good pinch of salt and a bit of pepper. Coriander in. Coriander seeds. Right, so just cut these limes in half and just squeeze all the juice in there. All these herbs straight in, just push it all down. Put about 3 tablespoons worth of oil in. Just leave it go for a couple of minutes. Basically, that's done now. It smells absolutely outrageous.
Will you use all that paste for the curry?
I probably will use all this paste because I want to put coconut milk in. I want lots of sort of juice. But I tell you what, even if I'm cooking for myself, I still cook this much because all you have to do is jar it in an airtight container. A bit of oil over the top so the air doesn't get to it, and it keeps for weeks in the fridge. Right, I've got these really nice chicken breasts. Yeah, they're free range, of course, but you know, get what you can.
Could you use the green paste for any different sort of curry? You don't have to use chicken.
The green paste? Oh, God, the green paste, you can do so much of this. I mean, you can basically... You can marinate, like, kebabs or something and just have the paste on its own and, like, barbecue it in the summer. Just put some lime juice over it afterwards. Use it with prawns to do sort of prawn curries. And sort of, you know, just brush bits of fish with it and just sort of grill it really quickly. So I'm just going to cut them at a sort of angle, quite big bits, and that will make sort of a big bit of surface area so it can have nice marinade clinging to it. I'm going to take about, I suppose, you know, a spoonful, a couple of tablespoons of the paste, and just put that in there. I'm going to put the chicken in with it, and I'm just going to toss it over, and I only want it to lightly coat it.
Oh, so you don't put the chicken in all the marinade?
No, because I want the flavour to impregnate into the meat, but I also want to just give it that, initially when I cook it, I want to give that sear in the wok. And if I've got too much of this in it, it's going to boil. Lovely. So this, I'm going to give this about 20 minutes of marinade. And that's the minimum you want to give it, really. But anything from 20 minutes to 2 hours is great. Right, so I'm going to cook the curry now. It's very, very simple. I've got a hot wok. Get your meat ready, get your paste ready. Coconut milk, nearly forgot. Put my oil straight in, put it from around the sides.
What sort of oil is that?
Just normal sort of vegetable oil. In with the meat. And just start to push it about. We're just going to cook it like this for about sort of 2-3 minutes, just so we're searing a little bit of colour in, and that's nice for flavour.
If you didn't have a wok, could you do it in a saucepan or something?
Yeah, of course you can. Do it in like a casserole type pan. Get it really hot again. Exactly the same. And then I'm going to get this paste, get it all in there, and this is where really you stop frying it. You start sort of, when you start boiling it now. So just smear over that green paste, just for like 30 seconds or something. And then we'll add this coconut milk. That's brilliant. And just stir it all in real slow. Right, so basically I'm just going to bring it to the boil. Right, let it simmer for about 12-13 minutes, just until the chicken's nice and tender. And that's it, it's done. Just season it to taste, a bit of lime for a zing, get some sort of shaved coconut in there, some chopped pistachio nuts and some coriander, just to freshen it up at the last minute. And I think the band are really, really going to like. I think they're going to love it. I'm going to make this really excellent salad that goes with the green curry. The green curry being quite fragrant and hot, and this salad being quite clean. So what I've got here is just some really nice, deep red, perfectly ripe cherry tomatoes, and I'm just cutting them in quarters. You can do them in halves if you want. I've got a fresh coconut. We don't want any of that desiccated stuff. And as you can buy these absolutely anywhere, markets, supermarkets, whatever, it's much better and much more authentic to use these. If you want to keep the milk, you can. We only actually need half a coconut. I can save this and scrape it onto the curry later, or just keep it, do something else with it. So just cut it up into bits, slice it as thin as possible, in any old fashion really. But you can see it's such a wicked colour, really tasty. It tastes so much different to the dry stuff, don't even think about it. It's different textures as well, it's not just taste. Lovely. Right, so just chuck this in. Next thing we need is we've got cucumber. And I need about half a cucumber. Just peel this, and then I'm just going to cut it in half. And we want to remove this little bit in here, which is really watery, tastes of kind of nothing really. You really don't want it. You can get a spoon, scoop it out, or you can get a knife. Just go in at an angle very gently. Go in at an angle here, just kind of turf it out, and just kind of use your fingers so you can see all that. Just water, you don't want that. I quite like to sort of cut it in half again. Just do it in thin, kind of lengthways bits like that, and then just cut it in half again. I just kind of think that size is perfect. Same, you know, you want it the same as a coconut-ish.
What else might you serve this salad with?
Well, it's a very refreshing salad, so you want to do it with light things. Things like a simply grilled piece of fish, you know, white fish preferably, simply grilled chicken, cheeses, you know, feta cheese, ricotta, mozzarella, really nice. Yeah, just simple things really. So what we want now, I've got some nice basil, really fragrant, that I bought, and I've washed it. I just want about that much, and that's, I know it's quite strong and it's really fresh, and we're going to get loads and loads of flavour out of that. So just slice it up. Get that stuck in there. Now you can smell it already, do you know what I mean? It's lovely jubbly.
Could you use any other herbs?
Yep, you could use coriander, which is lovely. Coriander and basil. But I've got a lot of coriander in the green curry, and I want to keep the flavours separate, so I think that makes sense, do you know what I mean? Right, so what we want to do now is dress it like a normal salad. A good pinch of pepper, a good pinch of salt, and I'm going to use limes, 2 limes. And that's going to give it a as opposed to lemon, it's going to be really zingy. Something that will help get the juice out is just to put your weight on it and roll it like that. Roll it off, and if you smell your hands, you've got that fragrance of the skin straight away, and you could peel the skin, finely chop it, and just put it in a pan with some